The word okay is literally a Victorian brain rot meme.
Young people in subcultures purposely misspelling words and abbreviations to make them their own? Yeah, I think we've seen that before. Obviously, with misspellings like this, the word takes on an entire different meaning to the people that understand it. Or we see here that abbreviations and acronyms themselves can be pronounced like an actual word. So for example, okay could be O.K or OKAY. Now nobody even really says FOMO or GOAT anymore. We just know FOMO or GO. And just like these words started out as either internet culture memes or AAVE and later spread during mass media, it was the same with okay. So right here, during the Industrial Revolution, right? Now, obviously, teenagers and cultures have always had their own slang, but it's very unlikely that it spread beyond that region. But the Industrial Revolution means that it's starting to change. But at first, the printing press by Johann Gutenberg, it is revolutionary, but still very, very expensive. So newspapers and books are still mostly for the elites, and legacy newspapers are really mostly about finance and politics, okay? Now, that does begin to change in 1839. In cities like Boston, where you have a new group of intellectuals, young urban professionals, they're writing for newspapers on the new steam press, right? And the paper is also a lot cheaper too. So these penny papers are written by younger people for younger people who are looking to have a little LOL. Think of like BuzzFeed for millennial culture, okay? So these kids have gone through a public school and the literacy rate rising much through all the social classes mean that they have some sort of inside joke. So they began using KY, meaning no you. So they might sign off their article saying NC or nuff said, right? But okay, as all correct, it's still pretty much a meme, not really mainstream. So that doesn't change until 1840. Okay officially goes viral. Now what does that mean? Well, the election of 1840, Martin Van Buren's nickname before all of this had been Old Kinderhook because he was from Kinderhook, New York. So his supporters were called the OK Club. And we saw something so similar this past summer with Brat, right? Originally, that was pretty niche, meant you were a fan of Charlie XCX, then it became Brat Summer, and then anything could be Brat, and then we saw Kamala HQ adopting that imagery in the campaign. So same situation here. Now, just like all of these cultures can spread worldwide, be adopted or appropriated, we saw that happen with OK, but not on the internet or TV, but on the telegram. So look at this timeline, right? OK starts as a meme in 1839. Then it goes viral in 1840, 1 year later, and then just 4 years later, the telegram comes out. Now, if you don't know, the telegram is Morse code. Boop, 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 boop. So the receiving operator, instead of typing out all correct, would just write OK to mean like I got the message, sort of like an affirmative neutral statement, which is basically how we use OK today. Just like millennials when the flip phone came out, we were charged per character. We would write IDK, LOL, my BFF Jill. The sender would totally understand what we were saying. So OK goes mainstream. Now, when a slang word goes mainstream, it basically has two options. It can either die a slow, cringy death based on older generations or people outside of the culture misusing the word so much that it dies out, or it can cross over. So that is what happened. OK crosses over into the mainstream vernacular and is now the most understood word in the entire world.
So maybe the skibbity toilet brain rot kids will actually be okay after all. I'm Michelle, your millennial history bestie. Please like or share if you learned something new or leave a comment with anything that I missed and follow along for more deep dives like this one.